Good morning, everybody. And it is a good morning. This is July. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, folks. It's the last week of July. July the 25th.
The time is 7:38 a.m.
Hey, Google, what is the temperature today?
Current.
I'm sorry, Google, I interrupted you. What is the temperature today? Hey, Google, what is the temperature today?
In Nassau today, expect a high of 82 and a low of 57.
82 and 67. Really? I'll put the acrylic blankets out to air today. They love that fresh air. And they come in with such an olfactory pleasure. So, what else do I have to tell you? You know the time?
The time is 7:39 a.m.
Why weren't you in school yesterday? The teacher asked the little boy. And the little boy says, my mother took me to the cemetery. The teacher says, oh, I'm sorry. Somebody dead? And the little boy says, yes, they all were. A man went on a diet of coconuts and bananas only. He didn't lose any weight, but boy, you should see him climb trees. And the little boy said to his friend, they're not going to grow bananas any longer. Why not? They're long enough now. Spirit of God, descend upon our hearts. Wean us from self. Through all its pulses move. Stoop not to weakness, mighty as thou art, and we will love thee as we ought to love. Be ye therefore blameless and harmless as a child of God without rebuke. Wouldn't you love that? We can't do it, can we? Well, let's try to do it. I'm going to try to think today, all day long, the nothingness of selfishness. It doesn't exist. It doesn't produce. It steals. We waste our time, our life, our energy on it, and it's a nothing. I will remember the nothingness of selfishness. Did I tell you yesterday how impressed I was by Mr. Webster? When he was thinking he was sick and he couldn't ride the bicycle and he couldn't do all the other physical things that he did. He was a very active person that way. And then all of a sudden it came to, he says, that's not me. He really should have said, that's not I. But that's not me. That's not real. This stuff that I'm hearing and this stuff I'm listening to, that I'm incapable of riding my bike now, or that I'm in pain, that's not real. I'm not going to listen to it. I will have nothing to do with it. It's a counterfeit. It's a sham. I like that. I'll have nothing to do with it. Thank you, Mr. Webster. Where'd you hear Mr. Webster? On Sentinel Watch, Christian Science, on the telephone. Want me to play you the first part? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't play any rest of it. It's copyrighted.
Hello, and Thank you for calling the Christian Science Sentinel Watch telephone line. Press 1 to begin this week's Sentinel Watch broadcast.
Where do you get the number? I would call the Mother Church, Christian Science in Boston, and get the telephone number for Sentinel Watch telephone. I would give this one a very high mark. A, the one for this week. They play it all week long, and then on Saturday give you a new one. All right, what else went on? Poor Amy. She earned a day's vacation from Consumer Direct, and then she had her own day off, regular day off, and she came back and the work had piled up 3 days. There were 54 jobs to do yesterday. Well, she did well. She got 50 of them done. So when our dear April comes in this morning at 9 o'clock, she's a whiz. Yeah, she is very capable. She is adroit, deft, dexterous. And then today we're going to sign the power of attorney, and I'm going to take a partner into the bank account so the money won't go to the state of New York, although the state of New York has been very good giving me money. Maybe I should let it go to the state of New York, and who will pay the museum rent when Glennie goes to heaven, and take care of any repairs. We'll have a fund for that. And then I'll tell my banker, and I'll tell my person who's going to be the power of attorney, I'll give them all of the balances. Like there's $1,700 for the rent on the museum for the next 2 years. There's way too much in the trust, $1,747 in the trust. Plus, I think I got June's finally spent. I think June is spent, and some now of July is spent. Why is it so important? Because as I told you, that's not only true of the bank account, but it's true of the trust account. If there's any money left over in the trust, it goes to the state of New York. No, it goes to the trust. And what about Pittsfield? Well, Charles Garibaldus, a great fan of the SS Glendora in 1955 to 1962, says he would love to present the Chat with Glendora on Pittsfield TV, but he's older now and he doesn't look the way he used to. I will ask him to do if he'll do it on audio, right? Is that a good idea? About the owner and the 24/7 ultimatum, they haven't bothered me yesterday, although it was Sunday, and they didn't ask Google or anybody else to take it. They didn't talk about taking down the letter that she wrote me with her ultimata in it. And they didn't bother me about the Supreme Court case, Glendora versus all of their party, and the rumor. So when dear April comes in at 9 o'clock, I'll ask her if YouTube took it down. And then if YouTube didn't take it down, then I will take it down. as a peace offer. I'm a good little kid. And then the renewals. Oh, the renewals. Don't look at it, Glendora. It's a great privilege. And these people have been your friends for 20 or 25 and 30 years. And they've been some of the best friends you ever had. There's just so many of them. Yes, you are on 72 TV stations from Boston to Boston to San Diego. They should be honored. Okay, you should be honored, Glendora. What else? Am I doing right by you? I know the quality isn't very good, but the content's very, very good. The content is extremely valuable. The kitty is fine, better than ever. Singing, purring, sleeping on her own couch. Although kitties don't like to sleep on their own couch, they want to sleep on your couch. On your bed. Oh, Mark Sweeney, Christian Science practitioner. He received my check for $84. That's for 3 treatments. They have started. The first thing that he is teaching me is that your joy is in the strength of the Lord. Oh, that's nice. Isn't it, folks? Say back to me. What's it saying? It's the strength of the Lord. Let's change that to another name for God. Is love. The strength of love is where we will find our joy. Let's do that. That's going to be my sentence for all day. No, it was the other one. The nothingness of selfishness. I better do Mark's because I'm paying for Mark's. The joy, your joy, Glendora, is in the strength of love. Oh, there's nothing stronger than love. Woo. Okay. Now, what number program is this? I believe it's 13,690. What about Victoria? Scatterbrained everywhere. Overloaded. Uncoordinated. Frenetic. But she said she will be over to see you in a week or two. Better be sooner than that, Victoria. However, she has sent her programs to Robert Jackson for August and September. And however, she has sent DVDs to the TV stations who cannot keep up with the technology of the Dropbox. They can just take DVD, a disc. However, she has a documentary that she made as a graduate student, as a graduate in master's degree in television documentaries at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, RPI in Troy. She has a screening for that at RPI, a public screening. I don't know what's going on with that. Why do they have to have a public screening? I guess to get the word out. But it's a wonderful documentary. It's about a child who had a disease like Down syndrome. And they said that that if he were born, and it went fine, that he wouldn't live. But that upset her and upset the mother, and they determined that they would do everything they could to make the child live, and he did. And I think he's 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. She said she's been working 10 years on the documentary, and she's following it from prenatal to birth to babyhood for toddler. So this is a very worthwhile documentary, and that's what she wants to do most with her life. Documentaries that are about things that are that serious. And she did the documentary on the Chat with Glendora, you know. That was her thesis, A Chat with Glendora. Excellent, you should see it. What a job she did. Okay. Your joy is in the strength of love. I'm going to remember the nothingness of selfishness. It's fake, it's sham, it's not even here. Remember, we would make believe we'd go to the altar of selfishness and we'd give it our all, we'd give it our time, all our precious gifts, our life, our energy, and we're standing there looking at the altar, the wind comes along, blows the curtain away, and there's nothing behind the curtain. Breathe on us, breath of God, till we are wholly thine, until this earthly part of us glows with thy spirit divine.